In this week's video, we'll look at some of the latest and greatest free shooting games from SideQuest. We'll also look at the upcoming titles for Oculus Quest and Oculus Quest 2 that will be coming to the Oculus store soon. All this and more coming right up.
Ladies and germs, it's showtime!
The first SideQuest shooting game we'll be looking at is Cybercade. So this game was free, then it wasn't free, but now it's free again. They made more money in donations when it was free than when they had it as a fully paid experience, and I'm glad it's free again because it means more people will get to experience this awesome game. So this game is kind of like Crisis Brigade, but with Tron style graphics. If you're not sure what Crisis Brigade is, then you might be more familiar with Time Crisis. So you think of Time Crisis in VR, and this is it. There's 3 stages you have to work your way through. You can go for casual mode, which gives you unlimited lives, or if you're feeling like more of a challenge, go for arcade mode. On arcade mode, your lives are limited and you get a high score that goes on the leaderboard. There are power-ups to collect, a nice variety of enemies and environments to work your way through, but one of the best features is the co-op mode, where you can play the game co-op with a friend or a random, although it can be difficult to matchmake with a random person online. Now our next game is Rhythm and Bullets. Your hands become starfighters and you have to defend the core. The core being that blue ball that you see on screen. That has a health bar. When it goes down to 0, it's game over. And I had so much fun with this game. Not only does it look good and it plays really well, but it has so many unique features. For example, the colour of your bullets need to match the colour of your enemy in order to destroy them. So if you're firing red bullets at a yellow enemy, it won't blow up the enemy. You have to change your bullet colour on the controller to yellow to destroy it, which often leads to some really frantic moments where you're trying to change the colour of your bullets as quickly as possible to match the colour of your enemy so that you can destroy them before they get too close to your core. Another feature, much like Pistol Whip, you have to time your shots to the beat for maximum effect. There is a campaign mode which is free up until campaign level 2. Then in November there will be an update where there will be a full paid game release. And so if you enjoy the game and want to experience the level 3 campaign or beyond, then you'll need to pay for that when that updates in November. But in addition to the campaign, there's also an endless mode and a high score leaderboard, so there's plenty there to keep you entertained. Now our next VR shooter demo is called Fundamental Force. Now this is a very interesting one as you get to control the forces. Using a device called a graviton, you can switch the gravity around so that you can make, say, the ceiling or the wall into a floor and fight enemies from all kinds of weird angles. It's a real trippy experience. You also have the Tachyon device, which allows you to teleport onto any flat surface, and a selection of weapons to take out these enemies which launch area-based attacks at you. And if the environments look familiar, they're actually inspired by the art of Escher. And the developers have let me know that they plan to release a story mode as well as other geometrically impossible locations inspired by the work of Escher. And they plan to release all of this by the end of the year. Now our next game, Scrap, is basically a tech demo or test area for the developers to experiment and get feedback on an upcoming physics-driven multiplayer shooter for the Quest. Now I almost skipped past this one and didn't play it because it is a tech demo and I've played a lot in the past and it's not something that really interests me much anymore, but I'm glad I gave this one a shot because I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. You have 5 different firearms to play with: a machine gun, shotgun, a couple of pistols and a rifle. The guns feel really nice to handle, they have great reloading mechanics, and you get to test them out on these mini games. And each of the mini games consist of different types of target practice. So if you do try this one out, make sure to give the developers your feedback. I'm really interested to see where this one goes. I think it has a lot of promise. Now our next game is Battle Arena VR. This is a multiplayer arena shooter, which is best for 2 to 5 users on each map, but hosts up to 10 players per map. There are 4 maps you can play on. This map you're seeing here is Titan. This is the smallest map of the 4 maps. Now I have to say, when I played this, I don't think I've given it the best demonstration just because I can only find one person to play with. So what I've done here is given you footage of the trailer so you can get a better idea of what this game can do. It has some nice features such as voice chat and also multiple servers across the globe. It offers some fast-paced multiplayer action, and if you can find the people to play with, then I can see this being a really fun game. Now our next game is War Yards. This is a 1 vs 1 multiplayer shooter, and like the previous game I struggled to find someone to play a 1 vs 1 duel with, so I put the trailer footage in here so you can see what the game is about. So in this game you can challenge your friends to a highly strategic 1 vs 1 duel. There are 3 maps inspired by classic western settings, and a really unique feature, a bullet time mode that can be activated at any time, and when active it restricts the other player's room scale movement and also removes their ability to reload. So you get an interesting mixture of fast-paced action and slow, tense strategy. Our next game is called Aim XR. It's a run and gun shooter with 5 vs 5 against bots, but in the future they do plan to have a multiplayer feature, so you can play against other people, but even with bots it's a ton of fun. If you enjoy games like Pavlov or Counter-Strike, then chances are you'll really enjoy this game too. There's a nice selection of guns, shotguns, machine guns, pistols and a sniper rifle with a working scope. The guns felt great, handling them, reloading and firing, and taking down the enemy felt really satisfying. Now of course there are a ton of other great free shooting games on SideQuest. These are just some of the more recent ones that I wanted to cover in this video. Next in this news video, I'm going to be moving on to discuss some upcoming titles for the Oculus Quest 1 and Oculus Quest 2. But before I do that, I just wanted to say that I am very excited for the Oculus Quest 2. I have one coming and I'll be doing some videos on that in the future, but I won't just be solely focusing on the Quest 2, I will still be looking at the original Quest as well. So even though I'm going to be riding the Oculus Quest 2 hype train like most others, and you'll probably see quite a few videos coming up about the Quest 2 in the future, I won't just be solely focusing on the Quest 2. Now if you're into your documentaries, go to Oculus TV. You'll find this 5-part series called Micro Monsters by David Attenborough. It explores the real life superpowers of arthropods using 180-degree live action capture, and is well worth a look. But now let's get on to some upcoming titles, and the first is the Blair Witch project. This is coming out on the 29th of October, priced at $29.99 US. Now if you've seen the films, you know that this is a psychological horror game. Now there is a Steam non-VR version of this game and it has very positive reviews, so I'm expecting big things from this game. And the story goes, a young boy disappears in Black Hills Forest, and as a former police officer with a troubled past, you join the search. Now what starts as an ordinary investigation turns into something quite horrifying as you face your fears as a mysterious force begins to haunt the woods. You also have a canine companion called Bullet that you can give treats and pet anytime. Next up we have Population 1. This is priced at $30 US and is going to be released on October 22nd on Oculus Quest, Oculus PC and Steam. It's an online multiplayer battle royale game where 6 teams of 3 face off against one another on a large map with a steadily enclosing zone that forces the players into an eventual conflict with one another until one team emerges as the winner. We also have Jurassic World Aftermath. Now I'm really looking forward to this one, although it's coming soon, we don't know an exact date or a price yet. The story goes you crash land on this island and velociraptors are stalking your every move, and just like Bear Grylls you have to improvise, adapt and overcome in order to survive. And the final game we'll be looking at today is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which will be coming to the Oculus Quest and Oculus Quest 2 on October 13th. So this will be a launch title for the Oculus Quest 2. So this game is a free roam survival horror adventure. You have to go along scavenging for anything that you can, weapons, food, tools, and along the way you meet different characters who might be friendly or they might not. You receive quests from these characters, and along the way you need to make difficult choices that will test your morals. So I have this game on PC VR and it's a great game, definitely worth considering. The only issues I have with it, it can get a bit repetitive sometimes. Also, it has this feature when it comes nighttime, there's hordes of zombies arrive and you pretty much have to get out of whatever area you're exploring. And it annoyed me at times because sometimes I felt I just wanted to explore the area a bit more, but I couldn't because of that time limit. Otherwise, a great game. That's about it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do remember to hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you have and would like to keep up to date with more news videos like this one. And I'll catch you next time.